Hey guys, welcome to the Game Vintage Podcast. I'm your host Eric. This is the NFL Draft first round recap. Let's go. Before I dive in to what was a historic first round last night, would you please hit that like and subscribe button so we can grow this channel? I'd appreciate it very much. Now, to the first round last night, very historic. A couple of records were set, and let's get into it. First, you had 23 offensive players selected out of the 32 first round picks. That's a new record, breaking the old record of 19 offensive players selected. Also, tying the record, you had 6 quarterbacks selected in the first round. But what set a new mark in this draft was 6 quarterbacks were taken within the top 12 picks. Teams were either staying the same or moving up to get those quarterbacks. Just kind of showing the premium that the league takes on trying to find a franchise quarterback. That premium goes up every year. Like teams aren't have realized that unless you have a quarterback, you're not getting into the playoffs and you're definitely not winning Super Bowls and championships, things like that. So definitely a premium on selecting your franchise guy. There's not really a science to it. You just kind of hope it works because you never know how these guys, no matter how good they are in college, how it's going to translate. But you had 6 teams either staying packed or moving up and drafting a quarterback in the top 12. You also had 14 straight offensive players selected to start the draft. The first defensive player came when Latu, the edge out of UCLA, was taken at 15. That started a little bit of a defensive trend as he went at 15, and then Byron Murphy, the defensive tackle, went 16 to Seattle, and then Minnesota drafted another edge player out of Alabama in Dallas Turner. Also, you had 9 offensive tackles go, so there's a premium on finding your franchise guy, but there's also a premium on protecting that guy. So you had 9 offensive linemen go in the first round. You had 6 quarterbacks. You had 7 wide receivers, and then you had 1 tight end as Brock Bowers went 13 from Georgia to the Oakland Raiders, to the Las Vegas Raiders. He's probably the best player in this draft, and he fell all the way to 13. But he was taken right there. Also, there ended up being 5 edge guys drafted in the first round. I initially said that I thought there would be 3, but there was 5. So another premium position in the way the NFL is played now, as teams are trying to get more speed. They're drafting more fast, twitchy edge guys than they are defensive ends. And this draft class had quite a few edge guys. You also had your corners go. You're drafting so many wide receivers, you need corners that can cover them. So it was pretty good. The picks that kind of surprised me was 8 when Atlanta took Michael Penix. Now, in my opinion, he's the best quarterback in this draft. He just wasn't going to be the number 1 or number 2 overall pick because of his knee injuries that he had at Indiana before he ever transferred to Washington. But when he's at Washington, I mean, they were the top 2 or 3 pass team in the country. But Atlanta, it's kind of surprising that they took him because they just gave Kirk Cousins a bunch of money. Now, Kirk Cousins is 36, and he's coming off an Achilles injury. So, I mean, we'll see how he bounces back. But I think they took the best quarterback in this draft. I mean, just when he spins it, when he's slinging the ball around, it just looks different. He's very accurate. He's good at moving in the pocket. To me, he was best when the games were big. And then my second favorite pick was when Chicago took the best wide receiver in the draft, and they took Rome Odunze. Now, Marvin Harrison Jr. went ahead of him at 4, and Malik Nabers out of LSU went ahead of him at 6. But I think Odunze is the best wide receiver in this draft. I've said that a multitude of times. But anyway, I like those 2 picks best. I also thought Byron Murphy would be the first defensive tackle taken in the first round, and I think he actually was the only defensive tackle taken in the first round. But you had 23 offensive players. That was a new record. You had 6 quarterbacks taken, tying the record of 1983. But you did have 6 quarterbacks taken in the first 12 picks, which set a new mark. And then you had 9 offensive linemen go and 7 wide receivers go. Now, I think tonight there's going to be a run when the second round starts. I think there's going to be a few more receivers that go early, but I think there's going to be a whole run of defense. I think you got a lot of defensive tackles and edge guys and corners that are going to go in the second round. So I think the first round and second round are going to be a little bit contrasting, but we'll see. I was confused with a few picks. I don't know why San Francisco took Pearsall in the first round when if they wanted a wide receiver, there was some really good ones out there still. You know, you had Adonai Mitchell from Texas. You had Ladd McConkey. I think they would have been better choices. I never was very impressed with Pearsall. But as Nick Saban said on the broadcast, that maybe they'll like him in the slot, and that'll be a good spot for him. So we'll see. I wasn't really too intrigued with that one. I didn't really like the Cowboys pick. You know, they traded down from 24. They took an offensive tackle, Tyler Guyton out of Oklahoma. I would have rather them draft the center out of Oregon. But anyway, I guess they have a chance to get the center tonight. But yeah, rounds 2 and 3 tonight. And I just want to jump on here. The draft ended kind of late last night, so I didn't get to do anything last night. So I just want to get on here and do a quick recap, and I will talk to you guys again this weekend. Y'all please hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll talk to y'all later.